Welcome back, dear doctors, in Anatomy Student Zone with Dr. Sayyida Sara. After a long time, I'm here with you. I would like to say special thanks to Physiotherapy Online, who is going to collaborate with Anatomy Student Zone. And I would like you to recommend, and I would also recommend you to please visit Physiotherapy Online for further content that will help you on a clinical side. Today, I will cover the lateral wall of nose. Especially, I will focus on the content anatomically that is present in the lateral wall of nose. You know very well these are meatus, sinuses, and I would like to start this topic with an interesting scenario. If you are a doctor and a 32-year-old male or whatsoever the age is, he is going to present to your clinic with a 2 week history of a nasal discharge. 2 week history is going to show that is a short term duration history with a nasal congestion, and the patient is also having thick yellow nasal discharge. Besides this, if a patient that is presenting to you, he is also having a facial pain and reduced sense of smell, and he also reports that the symptom got worse when he bends forward. On examination, if you are a doctor, of course you will do examination. On examination, what you see, there is a tenderness over a maxillary sinus. You know very well where the maxillary sinus is located. And on endoscopy, it shows there is a swelling and a purulent discharge in a middle meatus. So on an endoscopic examination, you are going to have these findings. As a doctor, when you find these findings on endoscopy, what you are going to do, you are going to go for a further investigation, that is a CT scan, and the CT scan confirms the mucosal thickening and obstruction of a osteomeatal complex. Now, what is osteomeatal complex and the why mucosal thickening is over there? We will see its anatomy. It will clear all these questions. The diagnosis that you as a doctor is going to made, that is acute bacterial sinusitis. So now what the question are going to be raised in this case, why there is a nasal discharge, why there is a sinus obstruction, why this patient is having facial pain, and why does bending forward is going to worse the symptom that the patient was having. To answer all these questions, I will recommend you to go through the detailed anatomy of a lateral wall of nose, because lateral wall of nose is not having just its anatomy, it is also going to link functionally how it's going to function, what is its clinical significance. And so the lateral wall of a nose is not a simple structure. In fact, it's very complex structure. It is going to play a major role in a nasal physiology. It is also going to play a major role in a sinus drainage. It means, if I'm going to talk about a sinus drainage, it means there are the many openings in a different or there are the many openings in a lateral wall of nose, and you know very well we will also cover all this. We covered the patient. It's in this scenario the patient was having the nasal discharge. So why there is a nasal discharge? We know very well that the lateral wall of nose is lined by means of a respiratory epithelium, and the respiratory epithelium is ciliated epithelium. It also contains a goblet cell. This epithelium is having two key main functions, and these functions are mucus production and another is mucociliary clearance. So mucus production, how this respiratory epithelium is going to do, it's all its histology that I have already covered, and it's going to do by means of goblet cell. So goblet cell are going to secrete mucus, and you know mucus is a thick sticky substance. It is going to trap dust particles, especially the pathogens that are present in that dust particles. Second function of this epithelium is mucociliary clearance. As the name indicate, mucus along with cilia, it's going to function. And why it's going to function? Because the cilia move, and the movement of these cilia is going to clear the mucus. And how its mucus is being cleared, we know very well. It's being cleared by means of nasopharynx, whether we are going to expel it by means of cough or a sneeze, or we can swallow it. In this scenario, the patient was having acute bacterial sinusitis. That was a diagnosis made by you. We know sinusitis is inflammation, and this is inflammation of a mucosa that is going to line this epithelium, so it becomes inflamed, and it causes uh, its causes can be due to infection or allergies, and whenever there is a sinusitis, it is going to lead increased production of a mucus. And mucus, we know the goblet cell, they start overproducing a mucus. It results in thick nasal discharge. That is in case with that of this patient. Besides this, it also affects the second function of a nose, that is a mucociliary clearance. So whenever there is a impaired mucociliary clearance, it also leads to the damage to a cilia. It also results due to inflammation of a cilia. When cilia are damaged, proper clearance of a mucus it can't occur, and it leads to stagnation of a secretion that the patient is having, and it become infected. So, being a medical professional, all of you should know when there is a sinusitis, and as a result of there is increased mucus production, impaired mucociliary clearance, this all leads to sinus obstruction. And whenever there is a sinus obstruction, patient presents with a facial pain. You know, dear doctors, when the obstruction occurs, it prevents the proper drainage of a maxillary, frontal, and ethmoidal sinuses. It means frontal, maxillary, and the ethmoidal sinuses function is impaired. They are unable to clear that secretion, and it leads to sinusitis. So, trapped mucus plus increased pressure within the sinus, it also causes a facial pain over a maxillary sinus. This can also be a cause in this case. So, to answer all this, why there is a sinus obstruction, facial pain, again, the anatomy of a lateral wall is important. Why? Because the lateral wall of nose contains osteomeatal complex, that I will say OMC. So, osteomeatal complex is a critical functional unit of a sinus drainage. So, osteomeatal complex includes middle meatus, hiatus semilunaris, ethmoidal bulla, and uncinate process. So in hiatus semilunaris, there is a combined opening for three sinuses: maxillary, frontal, and just anterior ethmoidal. So why does bending forward in this case worsen the symptom of that patient? So the paranasal sinuses, we know these are air-filled sinuses. These are air-filled cavities, and they are connected to nasal cavity by means of small openings or ostia. So openings or ostia, that is the same thing. Whenever osteomeatal complex that I told you, that is formed by middle meatus, hiatus semilunaris, ethmoidal bulla, senate process, whenever it's obstructed, it causes the pressure changes. So when these patients are going to bend, the pressure increases, and it aggravates the pain of to that patient. And also accumulation of a pus that occurs because the trapped secretion, and they are going to shift by means of gravity, and they cause the heaviness and the worsening of a discomfort or a symptoms as well. So now I will cover in a traditional way the detailed anatomy of a lateral wall of a nose that is being asked in auspice or in exam. So first you should know about a bony framework. Second, you should know about a nasal concha or a turbinates, what these are. Then we will cover the meatus, and at last I will cover the osteomeatal complex and the mucous membrane that is going to cover it and its clinical significance. So first I am going to cover the bony framework of lateral wall of nose. So lateral wall of nose is also formed by means of many bones, and one of main bone is maxilla. Maxilla is shown here in this image as in pink. You can see here, and it is going to form the anterior and inferior part of lateral wall of nose, or I can also say antero-inferior. Besides maxilla, ethmoid bone, which is shown here as in purple, it is also going to form the lateral wall of a nose. And ethmoid bone, please remember over here, it contributes to superior and middle part. It includes the ethmoidal air cells as well. Then we are having another bone, inferior concha, that is a separate bone, which is shown here as in white, and you know very well that the inferior concha is derived from a separate bone that we are going to name as an inferior concha. Besides maxilla, ethmoid, and inferior concha, lateral wall is formed by means of palatine bone, shown here in the image of atlas as in blue, and the palatine bone forms the posterior part of lateral wall of nose. And the last bone that is going to form the lateral wall of nose, this is lacrimal bone. Lacrimal is shown here as in green, and this is located anteriorly near the nasolacrimal duct. So in this way, like we are having five fingers in our hand, five bones contribute to the formation of lateral wall of a nose, and they're going to form the bony framework of lateral wall of nose. So after covering the bony framework of lateral wall of nose, it's in a time to understand the nasal turbinates, nasal concha or meatus, what these are. So the nasal concha or turbinates, these are the same thing. On a lateral wall of a nose, there are projections, or I can say curtain-like elevations. And what we name them? We name these curtain-like elevation as an concha or turbinates. And these concha or turbinates, they are covered by means of mucous membrane. So we are having three nasal concha: superior, middle, and inferior. As I already covered, these are derived from, of course, these are derived from the bones which are going to form the lateral wall of a nose. Where these bones are going to form a projection, we name them as an concha. So superior concha is derived from ethmoid bone. It is smallest and the most posterior one. Middle concha is also a part of ethmoid bone. It is larger and more prominent. So most prominent is middle concha. And the inferior concha, as already I told you, this is a separate bone. So it is the largest one and it is most anterior one. Again, I am going to repeat. Superior concha is derived from ethmoid bone. This is smallest one, most posterior one. Middle concha is derived from ethmoid bone. This is largest one, most prominent one. And the inferior concha is a separate bone. This is largest one and most anterior one. So why these concha are here, or nature have placed these concha? It's just to increase the surface area of a nasal cavity. They facilitate air warming, they facilitate humidification, they also facilitate filtration. So below each concha there is a space that we name as meatus. So meatus is just like a passage, and why this passage is over here? Of course, this passage is for air, and this passage is also for a sinus drainage as well. Like we were having three concha, superior, middle, and inferior, we are also having a three meatus: superior meatus, middle meatus, inferior meatus. And as I told you, these meatus are passage for the sinus drainage, mean they are going to drain each sinus, which are frontal, ethmoidal, and sphenoidal, and similarly maxillary sinus. So superior meatus, it drains the posterior ethmoidal sinus. Middle meatus is going to drain frontal, maxillary, and anterior ethmoidal sinus by means of osteomeatal complex. And the inferior meatus is going to drain the nasolacrimal duct, which carries the tears from that of our nasal cavity. So in this way, from ethmoidal, maxillary, frontal, and all, and the nasolacrimal duct, these meatus are going to drain. So lastly, I will cover the osteometal complex. And osteometal complex is very important on a clinical side because it is critical for a functional unit that is located in a middle meatus. So remember, this osteometal complex is located in middle meatus. So it includes the ethmoidal bulla, that is a round prominent that is formed by the ethmoidal air cell. So if examiner is going to ask you what is ethmoidal bulla, you can simply answer ethmoidal air cell. They are going to form a round prominent bulge in an area of a middle meatus, and we name them as an ethmoidal bulla. So another part of osteometal complex is uncinate process. As the name indicate process, it is a hook-like projection, and it is a hook-like projection of which bone? This is a hook-like projection of ethmoid bone, because we know very well middle meatus is formed by means of ethmoid bone, and of course the osteometal complex is also present in middle meatus, and uncinate process is also located over here. And last is hiatus semilunaris. Semilunar mean half moon like or crescent shape, and hiatus mean groove. So it is a crescent shaped groove that is going to allow the drainage of three sinuses. And what these three sinuses are? Maxillary, frontal, and anterior ethmoidal. So all these sinuses are going to drain into that groove, that is hiatus semilunaris. We had seen in this scenario that the osteomeatal complex that was blocked, and that was a primary cause of sinusitis in this patient. So the clinical significance of this lateral wall of nose is in a sinus drainage, in a nasal obstruction, in epistaxis, in sinus surgery, in nasal polyps. So how it's going to link with that? And the lateral wall is crucial for a sinus drainage because blockage of osteomeatal complex, it leads to sinusitis and it leads to impaired drainage of the sinus. Nasal obstruction can occur because if there is enlargement of inferior or middle terminate, that can occur due to allergies. It also causes a nasal obstruction, and whenever there is a nasal obstruction, patient will be having difficulty in breathing. And also nosebleed, which is epistaxis, it is also common in the lateral wall of nose because this wall is highly vascular. For this, I will recommend you to go through a content of blood supply of a lateral wall of a nose, that is a Kizil-Batch plexus, because Kizil-Batch plexus is located on a anterior nasal septum, which is a common site for a nosebleed. Similarly, sinus surgery is also quite common. To understand the nasal anatomy, it's essential for a endoscopy. It's not only essential for a endoscopy, it's also essential for a sinus surgeries, because you have to go, or you have to navigate that endoscope precisely. And whenever if you want to navigate that endoscope precisely, the lateral wall anatomy, again, it's very crucial and you should know. So nasal polyps, which are chronic inflammation of a lateral wall, they are quite common in a middle meatus. Most of the patient, they are going to present a nasal polyps in a middle meatus. And whenever there is a formation of polyps, we know there will be obstruction. And whenever there will be obstruction, it will also patient will be having difficulty in sinus drainage as well. So, lastly, if I summarize this all content for a medical student, for a physiotherapist, especially for a physiotherapy online, I will like you to recommend that the lateral wall of a nose is a complex structure with a significant clinical relevance. Its bony framework, concha, meatus, mucous membrane, they all work together. They all work to facilitate breathing, sinus drainage, air conditioning. So, understanding this anatomy is essential for diagnosis, for managing common clinical condition like sinusitis, nasal obstruction, epistaxis. As you progress in your medical training, this knowledge will not only help you, but it will also provide you a foundation knowledge. It will help you a lot. It will also help you in a image interpretation and a surgical procedure as well. So, key takeaways are the lateral wall of nose is composed of multiple bones, and five bone I described you and what these bones are. The middle meatus and the osteomeatal complex are critical for a sinus drainage, and you know very well, complex is going to drain with sinuses. And the clinical condition like sinusitis, nasal polyps, they are closely linked, and I will say directly linked to anatomy of lateral wall of nose. So mystery of this anatomy is essential for ENT practice if in future you want to be ENT specialist. At end, I am going to share a link with you that is for a physiotherapy online. Please go through that link for a clinical relevance, that content for examination, that will help you a lot. Thank you for watching Anatomy Student Zone. Keep liking, keep subscribing this channel so that I can help you out. Thank you so much.